So, greetings to all and all the viewers. Welcome to this talk show. And today we have got a young, talented software engineer, and he has been working with Capgemini Technologies for the last 2 years. And also, he is a passionate wildlife photographer and also a painter. So, he is multi-talented, multifaceted personality, and I'm really happy to have him in this talk show, and today he will share his experience that how he has got that success in his life. So let's get started and let us dive into the conversation without wasting any time. So
Yeah,
Prithvi,
sure, sure.
Prithviraj, welcome to this show, and I think
Yeah,
that
thank.
the viewer will be benefited from your experience, from your knowledge. So could you please tell
Yeah,
could you,
thanks.
could you please tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, I am Prithviraj Sarkar, and also I'm born and brought up from a very beautiful place called Naxalwadi, which is the foothills from the Himalayas, and very beautiful place. And I started my career as a software engineer last 2 years back. So that time it was a COVID time, and it was a very wonderful journey the last 2 years. And also, apart from the software engineering as a part of career, I am also very interested in wildlife photography and also the art related things.
Mhm.
So yeah, and also my hobby is also cycling as well. So yeah, that's all from a brief introduction from my end. Yeah.
Okay, that's really wonderful. You have a lot of things to do, and but one
Yeah.
thing I would like to ask you one thing. You are a software engineer, so is it conscious decision to be an engineer, or you had something else in your mind? Yes.
Hmm. Sure. Okay. So yeah, well, when I look back in the past time, so I cannot say that the software engineering or the computer science is like it's always I wanted to be. That's not
Mhm.
the case. So eventually, I wanted to become a biochemist or
Mhm.
like yeah, that was my like when I was young. So that was my
Mhm.
the future of whatever I wanted to become. So, but
Mhm.
the thing is, due to some issues related to finance and also like financial issues and some other
Mhm.
points, that's the reason I couldn't able to become a biochemist. Though I got a chance in the Odisha, but that was the case. So later I had to choose the computer science as the next career in my course.
Mhm.
So later I started liking this option as well because it's very beautiful stream and there is a lot of things to know.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's all. Like I was very passionate computer scientist and a computer related things later on, but it's not the case every time. Like I wanted to become a software engineer. That's not the case in the
Mhm.
my early childhood.
So
Yeah.
let us get into a different topic. Like,
Hmm.
if I want to ask you one thing, that you studied in regional medium. So you studied in
Yes.
Bengali medium school, and
Hmm.
so how did you develop your communication skill? How do you speak so good English?
Okay. So the first thing when I started my college life, so that time I
Mhm.
realized like talking, like communicating in English is very
Mhm.
important,
Mhm.
especially whenever you are in a part of a technological background. So definitely you have to be like you have to communicate in English so that you can share your knowledge as well as share your thoughts to the rest of the world. It's very
Mhm.
important to like to not only like talking as well as you have to understand the good English as well
Mhm.
so that you can communicate. So in the college time only I started realizing that you have to be a good communicator in English. So I
Mhm.
started preparing from that time only.
Mhm.
So the first thing I realized is if you want to be a good communicator, you have to listen the English as well very
Mm-hmm.
carefully. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to listen you have to be good in listening as well. So that time when I started communicating with others, so I started focusing more on the listening part, that
Mm-hmm.
what the other person is trying to communicate with you. So in
Mm-hmm.
that time, I started preparing, no, like I started listening some podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
some webinar sessions, because
Mm-hmm.
that time it was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So that COVID time, it was all the way we had the remote things. So
Mm-hmm.
everything we could see in the internet. So that time I just worked on that. So started listening some podcast, started increasing my vocabulary skills,
Mm-hmm.
and the next thing is I started talking with uh, the other peoples going like whether it is my professors or my friends, and also I started like talking with my friends as well,
Mm-hmm.
so that my communications can be growing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the thing, like uh, continuously talking and at the same time keep increasing your vocabulary skills and
Mm-hmm.
also listening well. So
Mm-hmm.
these are, I think, the key skills for becoming a good communicator in English. So I just
Okay.
focusing on that.
So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful to know. One thing, I would like to know from you that what would be your suggestion to the young people,
Hmm.
those who want to get into your career? What would be your suggestion to them that how they can be a software engineer, and which area they should focus, and which subject they should
Hmm.
learn?
I think in this era, I think like in no subject is like less important. I think
Mm-hmm.
each and every subject is important, and if we concentrate more on the subjective part as well as some internal things like soft skills and other things, so
Mm-hmm.
we can grow really well. So
Mm-hmm.
not only in the software engineering, but also it can be like uh, arts or the literature things, or
Mm-hmm.
it can be a science background. So the main thing is the communication. This is
Mm-hmm.
definitely very important, and
Mm-hmm.
also the technical knowledge. That technical knowledge can be I can classify it as the background knowledge of your core curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are in the computer science background, if you want to become a software engineer, so definitely
Mm-hmm.
you should know the basics well. So
Mm-hmm.
basic means that the mathematics, then computer science, coding, those things will be very important. But at the same time, you have to be a good communicator, and also you have to have a good writing skills as well, because
Mm-hmm.
in the business because computer science this background is like directly dealing with the business things. So
Mm-hmm.
in the business area or the management things, you have to be a good communicator so that you can communicate with your clients, with your colleagues, and you have to share your thoughts, your share your ideas, innovative ideas with them.
Mm-hmm.
So without proper communication, it is very difficult, because just only with the technical skill you cannot grow more. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be focusing on the soft skill as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really important, which I also
Hmm.
feel only having a hard skill, only having the learning, it is not enough to get into a good
Yes.
job or get into a dream job. Okay, one thing I would like
Hmm.
to know, as you talked about different subjects, so what
Yes.
was your favorite subject where, no, when you was in school? That which subject you learn, liked most?
Um, so especially I can say I'm always a mathematics lover. So like maths always fascinates me as a subject because of its implementation in the real world, and also the various scientists have discovered so many theorems in the base the mathematics, so that
Mm-hmm.
like we can use it in the real world scenario. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
like I love mathematics very well, and my background, like the computer science, is the base of the mathematics only.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, I also started loving a new subject, which is geopolitics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important, like in the country's growth perspective, because geopolitics, you have to know those international relations and other things. It's
Mhm.
very important to know as a uh, what I can say. These are the important things you should know at least with the
Mhm.
current affairs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And one thing I would like to know from you that no, whenever I see you, whenever I
Hmm.
talk to you, I find you very energetic, very enthusiastic, and very motivated.
Hmm.
How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you keep yourself so optimistic? So, what is the secret?
Okay. To become a motivated one, so like you have to have a good self belief in yourself that I
Mhm.
can do whatever
Mhm.
I wanted to do or whatever I wanted to become.
Mhm.
So, as I mentioned earlier, that computer science is not my favorite subject, or I was not always aspiring to become a computer scientist or the software engineer. Rather, I wanted to become something else. So
Mhm.
that time, it was very hard for me to shift my like the interest from one subject to another. So that time, what I did is I just started listening some of the people around me who is
Mhm.
successful in that field, how
Mhm.
they started doing these things, how
Mhm.
they have grown that much.
Mhm.
So to I think to become motivated, you have to follow some people who has succeed in their life
Mhm.
on that field, and how they have achieved that things you have to follow. I am not
Mhm.
telling like thoroughly you have to follow, because
Mhm.
everyone has their own way to do so, but I
Mhm.
think you have to listen those person how they have created. You can see you can listen some podcast, you can see
Mhm.
some seminars, webinars, or some shows where
Mhm.
successful people just has given their interview, like how they have succeeded in their
Mhm.
part, like how they have put so much effort, how to like how I can give so much effort in my field. So
Mhm.
that is very important. And also you have to believe in your potentials.
Mhm.
If you believe in your potentials and you just effort on the base of your eligibility, or you
Mhm.
understand yourself, so that is very much important to become a motivated. That one thing like I can do is very much important. That
Mhm.
self belief is very much important.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. I really love it. So whatever you said, one thing is also that how do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What is your goal that where you
Mhm.
want to see yourself?
So that can be two ways, like seeing that thing after 10 years or 5 years. So that can be two ways, like from my technical background, or can be a general human being, how the things will change.
Mhm.
So first of all, uh, in my observation, if I consider as a general human being, I think the, the changes will be in the next 5 years will be the different ways of learnings, like
Mhm.
how we are learning today. That way of learning can be changed in the next 5 years.
Mhm.
And the one thing which is I'm not liking these things, because as as I mentioned about learning, so the book and other things will be very important, key role for
Mhm.
our learning. So, for example, whatever we learned from our school life or the college life, the
Mhm.
books are very important,
Mhm.
like key role for us, because we learned so many things from books,
Mhm.
and also the library, other things were there
Mhm.
for our knowledge resources.
Mhm.
So I think in the next 5 years, due to this digitalization and other
Mhm.
things, I think the book can be the use of the book can be very reduced, which is not at all a good sign.
Mhm.
We can have a digital resources, we can have multiple things, but the reading from a book is a very good habit, and it
Mhm.
is also not as harmful as the digital devices for our eyes. So
Mhm.
I think this is one change will be there in the way, like the sharing knowledge or the digitalization will be very much. It will affect the way of learning, how we are getting the learning resources, or
Mhm.
the knowledging resource, that resources will be that will be very much affected. And coming to the technical things, I think AI will be the next 5 years. That AI related things will be very much useful for the future
Mhm.
generations. I think
Mhm.
that AI will replace so many things. Already you can see like some in the job market, I think SEO or the content writing, those
Mhm.
are the job fields is affected by this AI related things like Chat GPT or
Mhm.
the Google Birds. Those things are coming in the pipeline. So I think in the next 5 years, those things will be upgraded so much. I hope that the next generation will also be upgraded with the flow, so that they can be doing some interesting things in their job, not like they are not the AI can be replacing them. I don't think but these are the things which will be updated in the next 5 years.
Okay, absolutely. You are just bang on target that whatever is going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years. Yeah, I
Yeah.
also I also see that there will be a lot of changes in the field of computer technology or this thing.
Hmm.
Though I'm not very much into in technology and all these things, I just have some small knowledge on this field. But still, I see there is a big change in the AI or data science or cloud
Yeah.
computing, all this stuff. So okay,
Hmm.
so let us just shift our discussion a little bit from technology to different thing. That is
Hmm.
what you do on your free time. How do you what is your hobby, or how do you pass your time when you are not doing your job?
Okay. So I like reading books. So I like the good books,
Mm-hmm.
good authors.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it is a regional book or that can be the from the foreign authors as well. So yeah, I'm a very book lover. I
Mm-hmm.
love reading books, and also in my leisure times, I also do some paintings, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
very interested in the arts. Arts, not only the paintings, but also that can be literature, that can be um, the art related things that can be photography or
Mm-hmm.
those things. I'm very much interested, especially not only from Indian society, but also from the European society
Mm-hmm.
or from the African society, like how the art related things is varying from place to place or region. For example, in West Bengal also, I'm also researching on those things, like how our previous generations did
Mm-hmm.
so many things in the artworks, especially in the district wise. We could see
Mm-hmm.
with so many diversity. So the same thing is also there in the continent wise, like in the African continent or the
Mm-hmm.
Asian continent. How those things are there and how it's impacting our daily day-to-day lifestyle. So those artworks, I'm very much interested in that actually. So I'm just in my leisure time, I just researching on that.
That's really wonderful to know that you have a lot of interest and you do a lot of things. And you also said that you are an avid reader. You read books. So
Hmm.
could you please suggest kind of book current generation they should read?
Yeah. So first of all, if a person is for the first time they are starting like putting some interest in the reading book, so
Mm-hmm.
I would say that it should be started with some if we consider like English as
Mm-hmm.
a medium for that book. So I would say that general story books
Mm-hmm.
from the author, which is that like that stories or the contents is much easier to understand. For example,
Mm-hmm.
R.K. Narayan, Ruskin Bond. So those authors
Mm-hmm.
have very beautiful story collections, and the books are
Mm-hmm.
very good. And I think to grow the vocabularies, I think those books can be very good options. And I think if you started like understanding that English books or the novels well, like covering some of the books, you started understanding those points, and it's easier for you now. So I think
Mm-hmm.
then you should started reading some self-help books
Mm-hmm.
in the market. So there are so many good books. So I just like I completed one book that is As a Man Thinketh. That is a
Mm-hmm.
very good book. And another book is The Richest Man on Babylon. So those books,
Mm-hmm.
like you can read, because those books have been like very good content, as well
Mm-hmm.
as so many learnings from them. Like
Mm-hmm.
if we consider those books, so there are so many good topics. Just like another book I can suggest, that is The Psychology of Money. which is very good book. I read actually. So there, that the author has shared so many points and scenarios based on how we can invest our money in a correct way so that we can grow as well as our money can also grow. So those book we can study, we can read, so that that can be helpful for our future. And also, I'm not suggesting only for the English book. You should also read the regional book, the language which you are daily day to day you are communicating. So there also you could see so many books, good local authors as well. They are having so many wonderful books. So like if you are talking in Bengali, then I can say there are so many good books, so many good authors. You can have a life lessons from that books if you read actually. So yeah, the reading is very a beautiful thing, I can say. It will very much help you.
Yeah. So I can really resonate with your speech. I can resonate your feelings. I am also an avid reader of books, and I have I read a lot of books. Reading can give you a lot of knowledge. So this is very very important.
Yes.
And particularly today's generation, they are not very much into reading because of
Hmm.
uh, digitization of the life. They are just glued into mobile phone or maybe TV.
Yes.
So that's why today's generation, the present generation, they are not very much into reading. But habit of reading is very very important to gain knowledge. I want you to say to my viewer how they can be successful in life. That just
The first thing I can say is the success cannot directly you cannot get. So the success always comes after failure. So if you if you will not try for anything, and if you're not failed to that things, you cannot say that this is the correct way to do that. Yeah, sometimes we can achieve success. The path we are following directly, we are getting that without any issue, but that is very rare case. Mostly the people from our if we see across the globe, so mostly those successful people, they always have struggled a lot in their early career or their early life. So yeah, so definitely success is the thing which always comes after some failures or some hard struggles. So if you don't struggle, and if you frightened to struggle, I think that then you shouldn't hope for the success, because you have to be go for the struggles. You have to put so much efforts, the thing which you are love or you wanted to become or you wanted to do that. So definitely you have to work on that. You have to put the effort. You should have the self belief that yeah, I can do that. And you also have to struggle a lot. You can fail multiple times, but every time you have to work on your failures, like how I can convert my failures into success. This is very important. You should, this is the only you can understand point, that how I can turn my failures into success. And that thing you have to understand. Like like if someone understood that point, like how I can turn my failures into success, I think there is a no turn back. They can in a good track, or I can say the correct way or the correct track to become a successful person.
Okay, that's really wonderful. Whatever you said, this is just to the point. Every failure is a learning, and one should
Yes.
learn something from every failure. So only then one can become successful in life. Yes, Prithviraj, it's been really wonderful talking to you, and I hope that the viewer, they will learn or they will get lot of hope, lot of motivation from this wonderful talk show. Particularly those who are interested to be software engineer, who are interested to go into this field, they will learn a lot of things, and hope to get you in future as well. Thank you so much once again for joining this session,
Yeah.
and I wish every success in your life. Be the man whatever you want to be in your life. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank
Bye
you so much for the
bye. Bye bye.
session. Yeah. It's a good interaction. Bye.